Right, so welcome back to another video on this channel. Today we have another match reaction for the Premier League action, and today's match reaction we have Leeds United 0, Arsenal 0. Wondering why I've even bothered to do a match reaction for this game, because obviously it did end scoreless, but overall it just really wasn't a 0-0 draw that you would come to expect. I mean, I'm just absolutely bewildered and just astonished in general that Leeds didn't manage to put a goal past this Arsenal team. I mean, we'll get into the stats in a minute in this video. I mean, Leeds absolutely dominated for the most part in this game. But yeah, before we get into actually analysing this game, I would like to quickly ask you guys to subscribe to the channel, because we are looking to hit 750 subscribers as soon as we possibly can. We're closing in ever so slightly on that goal right now, so yeah, any subscription you guys do make would help us out massively on the way to achieving that goal. Also, if you could leave a like on the video as well, if we can hit between 10 to 15 likes on this video, that'd be massively appreciated. And yeah, let's get into analysing Leeds United 0, Arsenal 0. Yeah, obviously, as I said, I'm absolutely astonished that Leeds didn't win, and as you can see here by the attack momentum, I mean, Arsenal had their moments here and there, but overall Leeds, they just absolutely dominated from start to finish, really. And even if we look at the stats as well, I mean, Leeds obviously had 66% possession to Arsenal's 34%, also having 24 shots and 4 on target to Arsenal's 9 shots and 2 on target. But yeah, these shots to shots on target ratio for Leeds United is the main thing I want to focus on in this video, because obviously it probably summed up the game perfectly in my opinion. I mean, 25 shots and only 4 on target is just dreadful if you're trying to be a clinical side. And to be fair to Leeds, I actually think a few of their attempts did come off the crossbar or the post, so obviously there's nothing really you can do about that. But overall Leeds, especially in the first half, they just weren't clinical enough. And yeah, overall in the game as well, I mean, especially against a side that struggled with 10 men for a large part of the game, with Pepe getting sent off midway through the second half. And yeah, Leeds really on another day I think would have probably embarrassed Arsenal, if I'm being perfectly honest, let alone win. I mean, they were really unlucky with a few efforts from the likes of Rodrigo, Rafinha, 2 players that actually played really well. Bamford hit the post I think a few times as well, and also had a few decent chances. So overall I think on another day, had the luck actually gone Leeds' way, they probably would have put like 3 or 4 past Arsenal, if I'm being perfectly honest. And yeah, if we get into the lineups, I mean, there's not really many standout players as per usual in this Leeds team, because as a collective they are, like, you know, very, very good, and there's not really many like quality individuals. But I just want to point out this man here, Rafinha, obviously his first start in the Leeds United shirt, but I thought he was very, very good tonight, very creative, and honestly I think he's going to be a very top quality player for Leeds as they do progress in the ranks in the next few years. And I think Leeds will be back amongst that like European contention in the next few years, and I think Rafinha will be a key player towards obviously achieving that goal. Calvin Phillips back in this Leeds team as well after an injury that kept him out of the last few weeks, and he's the main key player in this Leeds team. I think they're a completely different team without Calvin Phillips anchoring the midfield alongside Matthias Klick. Phillips just reads the game so well, he's cool on the ball, he's very, very good in terms of like defensive to attack transition, and for a team that are probably one of the best in Europe in my personal opinion at transitioning from defence to attack, I mean, Leeds are just absolutely phenomenal at that, and they showed it tonight again at times. Calvin Phillips is really, really important to that style of play, and also alongside this man Matthias Klick, who I think is one of the most underrated players in the Premier League overall. He's pretty much got everything you would want in a central midfielder, especially in this Leeds United side under the style of play that Marcelo Bielsa does prefer. Jeff, if we quickly go to Arsenal's team, I mean, there wasn't too many players that did play well. I mean, Leno obviously had a good game, he had a lot of saves to make, and he had to be very alert because of course Leeds were pretty much piling all the pressure on Arsenal. And one player I do want to point out is this man Hector Bellerin, who I think was actually very, very good today. And I think Arsenal fans actually do tend to underrate Hector Bellerin a bit, because I think he's got everything you want in a modern day right back. He's very quick, he's very good going forward. I mean, he showed it in the second half with an absolutely beautiful through ball to Bukayo Saka, who obviously couldn't get the finish off. But yeah, I think Bellerin definitely deserves more respect from the Arsenal fan base overall. I mean, I think he's a very decent right back and had another good game tonight alongside the left back Kieran Tierney, who I thought was very, very good as well. Does the same things to Bellerin, you know, very good going forward. I think Tierney's probably more solid defensively than Bellerin, so yeah, Kieran Tierney obviously young as well, so he's only going to get better as time goes on. I think this man Rodrigo, I think he really added a little bit of a spark to Leeds when he came off the bench. Obviously was so close with an effort that hit the crossbar, and a few minutes before that as well had a brilliant effort that just went over the bar. But yeah, I really think he should be starting for this Leeds team. I think the only reason he didn't start is because he wasn't fully fit, because I think he's just recovered from coronavirus, correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, when he came off the bench he added a lot of spark to this Leeds team. But yeah, this man Nicolas Pepe, now another disaster class from him, and when are we going to take into account that he is just a flop at this moment in time? I mean, nobody can say otherwise. And to be honest, I'm going to be honest, I'm actually one of Pepe's biggest fans compared to other fan bases, because obviously everybody thinks Nicolas Pepe is extremely overrated, but I actually do rate him a bit. I think he's very dangerous when he cuts in on his left foot, and I think he actually doesn't really get the service around him to be able to provide those left-footed whips into the box. But yeah, overall he just had another stinker tonight and was sent off, of course, on 51 minutes for a really, really just rash and stupid decision to headbutt Alioski. I mean, I know it's very, very soft, but you cannot do that and expect to get away with it. It was a straight red card and it was deserved. And from that moment, I think Pepe's red card really put Arsenal in the dirt, because it made up their mind for them, really. They just had to sit back and defend for the last 40 minutes instead of actually trying to go at Leeds and trying to score themselves. But I do kind of think, in a way, the red card did kind of benefit Arsenal playing against a team like Leeds who love to play a very expansive and open brand of football. So the fact that Arsenal then, when they had the red card, obviously had to sit back and just defend for their lives, that doesn't really suit the way Leeds want to play, and that is why I think that Leeds will obviously do better against the bigger teams, because they'll do better against the teams that don't really want to sit back and will actually try and have a go at them as well. And speaking of Alioski, I actually think he had a very good game for Leeds down that left-hand side as well, and obviously he was kind of out of favour at the start of the season and towards the end of last season in the Championship team that Leeds got promoted with, but he's really shown his mettle in the last few weeks, and I think he's definitely going to be a starter for them in the near future. So yeah, let's look at the table now, and that result does leave Arsenal in 11th, so Mikel Arteta coming under a bit of pressure, but to be honest, I do kind of sympathise with him a bit, simply because if you look at this Arsenal lineup, I mean, it is just quite average for, like, they're nowhere near a top 4 side in terms of squad depth. If you look at that, I mean, Rob Holding, Danny Ceballos, Joe Willock, Willian, even Nicolas Pepe, I mean, they're not really like players that are going to be part of a team that get into the top 4. And I think in recent years, the way Arsenal have been run at board level has really put them behind the likes of, you know, City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Spurs, even United. They all have better squads now than Arsenal. And that is why I sympathise with Arteta just a little bit, because I don't think he has the squad of players to really compete with those 5 teams, as I said. And yeah, that draw does leave Leeds in 14th place, which is obviously quite surprising, but I think in recent weeks they have kind of struggled without Calvin Phillips, so to have him back is obviously a massive bonus. But yeah, that is where we're going to leave this video now, so if you did enjoy, make sure to drop a like on the video, and also make sure to subscribe to the channel. As I said, we are looking to hit 750 subscribers as soon as we possibly can, so yeah, any subscription you guys do make would help us out massively on the way to achieving that goal, and I'll see you guys in my next video. See ya.